Hello and welcome to Crimson Moon. Last time our protagonist was captured by Yukio and they were pretty much about to be eaten alive. So let's just go right ahead and continue. You can't understand how I feel. I only wanted to stop suffering. I only wanted to start over as a strong person. Because I had always been weak. What is wrong with that? Sorry, people aren't equal. That's why we are equal. You get me? What's the size, what's at the top and bottom, and not the average. Don't think that the balance is a scale, weakling. First off, even if a weakling's at the top of the rung aims high, it's going to cause trouble to the people around him. I'm not weak. I'm not weak. I'm strong. I'm really strong. God gave me power. I become strong. That's not possible. People's performance has been determined since the moment they were born. There ain't anybody that moved up from weak to strong. What's that? You say that there's people that manage to get by with blood oozing effort and determination? That's because that's their form of strength. Don't get the attributes mixed up, pig. You of all people should have learned your lesson, right? That the people aren't able to go back and forth that easily. Don't do. Yes, a weakling is going to be a weakling for the rest of his life. That's why for the people who realize they'll be like this for the rest of their lives, the least they can do is not to wish that they want to be saved. That should have been the best pride a weakling could muster. The weak will live in their own weak way, taking pride in their weakness. Being the same weakling, I couldn't find any word in someone that tossed that aside. My home is humble but dear to me. You get it? In other words, to feel envy for others is to scorn yourself. You are non-human scum, even worse than a weakling, that easily sold your own soul to the devil because your price tag was low. Look at the dump around you. This is your last stop. Somebody that's thrown out their humanity once, you know? It's not going to find human salvation. Up, shut up. You are a dog. You are not a person. You are a noisy meat like a dog. Don't look at me. Don't look at me as if you are better than me. He becomes excited. The man-eater grabs my head with its glove-like hands. I'm only looking for food. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm only looking for food so the pain will go away. Why are you being so mean? The veins of his swelling fat arms bulge. Fusuo Yukio, like he had done with the dogs he has killed up until now, tried to crush my head. Then, cause you're the fucker that killed one of my own. Taken by surprise, his chest was crushed by a thing having the same shape as the meat he had killed. It hits the rotten flesh bulb, the biting jaw, my left arm, which sprung against my will, chewed the rope, then ruthlessly rammed the flesh blow. A bullet burst with a 500 meters to several second velocity, unleashed at point blank. The 200-kilogram lump of flesh was blown away, amusingly all the way to the wall. Laughter arose from my entrance. Emotions originate not from the brain but from the heart. There are my brain still paralyzed from the electric currents, and there's no way for it to work properly. 2 minutes, 30 seconds until the brain recovers. My limbs still won't move. As long as I'm alive, the body is still working. I don't give a shit about the brain. The ligands skewer the receptors in the synapses. As a transmission speeds so fast that it's as if it's the one thing in the world surpassing light. Blood rides the capillary highway at 300 kilometers per hour. This fucking hurts. Oh, this really fucking hurts. And the gushing endorphin cells ignite nerves, rhythm, and sensations go berserk. Just as this happened, a guillotine went chopped and dropped on my arm. The surface of the left arm, which hadn't hurt in the slightest, as I lost, it was joined together with the pain that had been accumulated for 2 years. It connects. The severe section fuses, becoming one with the black arm. The bursting blood pours inside the arms like a tsunami. Becomes a rapidly growing boat. The flow of blood becomes nerves and hold me and the arm together. It's alive. It's alive. The mannequin arm is now twitching as if breathing. The lost left arm regains its form and is reborn. Good. Absolutely nothing matters anymore. And yeah, I knew it. The real deal is fucking great. I'm alive. I'm really fucking alive. Okay, why don't we finish this up in a GIF, shall we? Now then, if you have anything to confess, now's the time to be doing it. But I spill out all of your grievances and frustrations. Because if you don't, you'll be going to hell, and I'm the one that's going to be bothered if you come knocking. I cackle. Crap, this is way too fun. I can't get out from this chair, but you know, this is really fun. So you're also demon possessed? Flesh blood ponderously rises. Blood is pouring out from the swollen, ripped chest. That bite wound, which was like a diagonal slash made by a katana, was quite remarkable for my bratty left hand. At the same time, the part of my left arm past the elbow was gone. But it's a weak and small demon. It's not scary at all. An abnormal smell filled the room. The punching must have excited him as the flesh blob was sweating all over. That's the stomach acid, huh? He's completely coated with it, so if I'm hit or I hit him, the one that's going to be melted is me. What's going on with that body? But I'm glad my demon is stronger. I'm better than you. He approaches me slowly. I stick and move up from the chair. He's aware of that. I'm really happy because I haven't eaten a demon possessed yet. Flesh Blob Yukio, as if remembering something, took out a bottle of vinegar and was coming to me. He's forgotten about his chest. Well, that blob really has nothing in his mind except eating. You said something before, the one who should confess isn't me. We are both possessed. I will save you. His glotted cheeks melt, feeling stomach acid in the palms of his hands. Yukio laughed. Still, this guy just doesn't learn. His stomach acid covered arms extends. His stomach acid melting arms rises. Eh? The possessing demon doesn't move when there's sanity and consciousness. For just a few seconds, I found myself to lose the consciousness I worked so hard to maintain. Now then, Hatred-chan, I kept you waiting. It's time for dinner. Blackout for 1 instant. Roaring, the black arm exploded. It scattered on the flesh blob before me as a solid matter, raining on it as liquid and shrouded it as gas. Ow! As if on fire, the silhouette of the black dog writhes. Its grotesque howling, incomprehensible to the human ear, shatters the brain instead of the eardrums. All of his Shikue Arika is taken over in an instant by the left arm. It was like the night that he had lost it, the illusion of all the sensation in his body dying, and he himself being concentrated in the left arm. It hurts! It hurts! He shouts. When I opened my eyelids to a voice that was neither screaming nor roaring, I saw the familiar sight of feeding. This is the same situation as 5 minutes ago. What's changed is that the eater and the eaten are different. What is this? What is this? What is this? He was being eaten from the feet. No, he was being gulped. The large 1 meter black dog pins the flesh blob. The black dog was as thin as seaweed. It sticks itself around the flesh blob, and sounds of grinding come from the parts it's attached to. Why it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it's eating me, I'm being eaten. Been eaten from the ends of his limbs. The black dog sniffs the smell of its prey. The flesh blob is completely helpless and sweats tremendously. In normal circumstances, just its sweet sweat should melt whatever touches it. But, why, you were just my food. How does one kill something that had been formless from the start? Resistance is useless. Even if he tries to dissolve it by stomach acid, that thing had already been dissolved. Even if he tries to destroy it by force, that thing had already been crumbling. In the end, the likes of a demon that can manifest itself without the form of a man is no better than a somewhat odd-looking human silhouette. It's because people title these things as demons so easily that the definition has been twisted. It has been said before that if God is the embodiment of perfection, omnipotence, and omniscience, the demons are the phenomenon of absurdity, human knowledge, and powerlessness. Why? This is different. Why are we totally different even though we are both demon possessed? Don't lower me to your level. What you have is a disease, and me? The demon in the underground chamber speaks. But an imaginary sensation will accept the same imaginary beasts. How marvelous, Ishizoe Arika! That left arm of yours is the ideal demon. I'm apparently a real demon controller. The blind black dog, the imaginary formless, eating the demon possessed. Extending from my left arm, almost all of Yukio has been beaten. But the reality is that the black dog isn't eating flesh. The formless can kill the formed. However, the story is different. If he is swallowed whole, if the existent areas are completely smothered by nothingness, his position will be the same as nothing. I am reminded of the cat in quantum theory. Fusuo Yukio, 90% of those of whose body has been consumed, is dead without mistake, but as long as 10% still exists, he should be alive. Or something. There's our Schrodinger's cat reference. It's a real visual novel. In any case, that's 10% going to be gone in just a matter of time, but... No, help! God, help! It hurts. Why does this hurt so much? Why does this have to happen to me? It's not my fault. I'm not sick. This possession isn't my fault. God, I've only been chosen by God. Ah, I got the nagging feeling that I've heard gibberish like this death scream before in the day. My memory is not working right, but did I meet you before? Yes, a long time ago. Long time ago you kept coming to see me. Something during the day? Sorry, I'm not going to remember that. I pull power into my right hand. I'm able to move. Uh-huh. I'm oblique to provide an answer, I guess. The knife is perfect. I didn't drop it. We can't do anything about it, but your feelings aren't going to reach him. Demons and God are hopelessly different. Demons are powerless, so they dealt with humans, but gods don't give a rat's ass about us. He doesn't care about fate, and he has no interest in how we indulge ourselves or how we suffer. Of course he won't. He's sufficient all by his lonesome. That's what it means to be all-knowing and all-powerful. God won't save you. Since way back, there's only been one thing that God's been saying. Yukio, colored in black up to the tip of his nose, looks at me pleadingly. Gripping the knife, I say my final sentence. In other words, you're pests, so don't bother me. The eyes buried in the meat look at me in shock. Fergie Yao, the black dog, covers the last 10%. I numbly force it down the knife. Cleaving the meat with one swing, I put away the knife. The room became quiet. The flesh blob doesn't bulge an inch, and the black dog sniffs around, searching for food. Because it lost its vision, it's looking for its favorite food with seeing sensation. So there was a chance that it might devour awful tasting meat. I took out the affected side from the flesh blob, using the left arm to give it to the black dog. Oh, have to be left only with the arm cutting feeling, eh? I still can't get used to this at all. At the last moment I had cut off the left arm. The merged prosthetic arm couldn't come off unless I separated it with a bladed object. On the other hand, as long as it's separated, the formlessness will return to its original form. The fact that Fusuo Yukio's body still exists means that it didn't completely eat him. That the black dog is absorbed in its supper, I also have something to look for. Using the light of the monitor, I looked around the room, but there was nobody alive other than us. Picked up the cell phone that had been by the flesh blob feet. It was a fluorescent orange that stood out even in the thin darkness. The one that belonged to her. Let's get out of here. You're finished, right? Doesn't respond. When I turned my head around, the black dog was gone, and the severe prosthetic arm rolled on the floor. Without reattaching it, I carried it with my right arm. 3 hours until the sun falls, 3 hours to go, or only 3 hours left, huh? It's an honestly dubious waiting time for treasuring and discarding memories. When I came to, the sun had long fallen. I don't know why, but I'm feeling hopelessly depressed. The time is past 8 p.m. On top of the table is Caius' black arm. Working through a migraine, I checked my memos. I was hoping for a nothing big scribble. There haven't been a page for today. From there, the 7-page words of paper was ripped from the memo pad. This is my head in wonder, but I don't recall what happened. And more importantly, I'm very hungry. It must be because I haven't eaten anything since the morning. I assume that the only normal meal I had yesterday was yesterday's club sandwich. That means I haven't consumed one full day's worth of nutrition. Not good, not good. Whatever reason there are, we humans will die if we don't eat. Wearing the same clothing that I had on since I woke up from my nap, I go to the usual pub. Nebula's crowded to the point of annoyance during dinner time. I shouldn't have come. Do not wait to go somewhere else tonight, except the middle of that chaos was one idiot that was energetically waving her hand. Ah, senpai! Yoo-hoo! Over here, over here. Oh well. At this point, it's a pain in the ass to change restaurants. Suddenly Fed brightened up, so I joined her. Senpai, you are late. Were you at Kaye's place again? Well, I guess she is alive after all. Uh, I don't think Akio is that surprised or anything. Maybe he already forgot she probably was going to die. Suranui pouts as she puffs up her cheeks. She's saying the same exact thing as last night, but there's absolutely no way that we had a dinner arrangement. Senpai, why are you staring at my face? Please stop. I'm not wearing makeup today. Now it just feels like the thing to do. Better question, why are you alive? What? What did I die? Little bit of silence. We look at each other as if it was. Okay, we look at each other as if it were a couple, as if we were a couple having an awkward, an awkward marriage interview. Sorry, I didn't know either. Well, you're alive, so that's good enough. I ordered a club sandwich and a cup of water. The strange discord was completely gone, and I talked with Saura Nui about the usual banter. Oh, I forgot. Look, senpai, my new cell phone. This time I went with the concept of vivid tropicality. It's cute, don't you think? Like a chameleon. Amazing. Didn't we have this same conversation yesterday? Okay, I'll call you, so please register my number. Oh, senpai, did you leave your phone at home? No, I should have it with me. Put my hand in my pocket. The cell phone I pulled out was orange. Oh, that's my phone. Why are you carrying that, senpai? That must be because I picked it up. There's no reason other than that, since I don't remember how I picked it up. How I picked it up. It was useless trying to guess why. Ah, did you go to the factory after you heard my message? Did you find Yukio-san? It's embarrassing, but I became scared halfway and ran off. The migraine again. Well, I didn't remember what happened. It felt like dots connected. But I'll stop digging any further. The pages from the pad were torn out. 3 hours ago, I judged that was the right thing to do. Senpai, your face is looking kind of uncomfortable. I don't know. People don't know how they look without mirrors, you know? Anyway, this cell phone, I returned it, or was about to, but I changed my mind. Suranui has a new one, and for some reason I lost mine. Can I have it? It looks like I lost mine. Suranui's eye opened wide. So from whatever chemical reaction that went off in her brain, her cheeks turned red and she begins tracing a spiral with one hand. Oh my, are you that interested in my personal info, senpai? Well, since it is you, senpai, I guess it's okay to show you. Nope, I'll reformat it. Yeah, that's fast. Oh, please show some interest. She bangs the table. Because of how noisy she is, the eyes of the people around are gathering on us. But maybe I've been affected by a chemical reaction too. So I let her do what she wants tonight. Right, so this is mine. I'll pay you later. Okay, take good care of it. To replace what I lost, I stuffed away something that had been lost in my pocket. The known weight on my chest, lightened by that one's cell phone. This time I'll do my best at not losing it. The one junky ones are the ones where the emotional attachment builds up. Plus, now that I'm looking at it closer, this bright color, which somebody can easily find, isn't so bad either. That day was the rare one where I worked at night. I received a call from Kaye about him being busy with some investigation. He also pleasantly said that I didn't have to come during the day, but to show my face at night. When the devil died, I become your servant. I burned in defiance, but since I'm his servant, however you look at it, I quietly showed my face. And that's the details behind the October 13 demon exorcism of Usuo Yukio. Arika, are you listening? Does he really have nothing better to do? He had me come here to make me listen to the facts about something I did days ago. I had heard that the rumored dog killer was taken in, but apparently the one who took him down was me. Of course, I don't remember this at all. The only stuff I remember about that guy is from the stupid conversation I had with Suranui and that video she showed me. Arika, don't you remember? I can't believe that you don't know anything at all. What happened to your memos and cell phones? It's completely gone. Seems like I got rid of it without leaving behind a recording medium. So nope. No matter how much you want me to, you can't get anything off from me. Yikes, you are a careful one. Can I ask you then? Shucks. I really wanted to know how much food and what kind of demon possessed Fusuo Yukio. Oh, and the reason as to why you didn't kill anyone this time again. Kaya grins, shaking his long hair. I don't like those eyes. Feel as if the blacks of his lightly pigmented eyes sees through a deep layer of me that I'm even not aware of. Not a big deal. The fact that the other guy isn't dead is just a matter of the guy not being so tough that I had to kill him. They're sick people. I got to be gentle. Is that so? So back over there you were able to afford to do that. But Arika, that arm is made from my emotions, remember? If you move that left arm, we have to take it to mean that the matching emotion was put to action. You should have certainly borne hatred for Fusuo Yukio. Karyokaya's arms and legs, 4 black plaster like artificial appendages. Despite the fact that I've been with him up to this point, I don't know what they are. But he tells me that they are things that had been formed originally from human emotions, 4 limbs made to give Karyokaye a human form. By losing my left arm, I lost the emotion of feeling threatened. An originally complete human body became damaged, and an emotion was lost. Then let's say, hypothetically, that somebody was born in a form with an inherent tactile perception. Wouldn't it be possible for that someone to wear a human form by playing with those emotions? For example, something like discarding the 4 emotions making up the foundation of a human being to give each corresponding tactile perception a form. It's really too bad. I was hoping that this will be the time you finally did, but you ended up saving somebody again. Ark, maybe I'm starving, you know. If I should go on a rampage. Maybe. Tonight, Kaye's wearing both legs and arms. Only me and Kaye are inside. Neither the fish swimming in the sky nor the dog lying in the shadows are here. Do whatever the hell you want, and I'll have you know that it wasn't me saving anybody. I don't remember what happened, but the reason why I didn't kill him is for my own sake. I don't have any other reason to spare him. I infer what happened at the past that was no longer my own. I shouldn't have felt pity for him. For my own sake, I just didn't kill him. It's a 0 or 1 deal. No matter how inhuman he was or how much I didn't care about him, I didn't want to damage my conscience. People, if they want to live normally until they die, should keep their sense of guilt to alone. I let the guy go, not because I wanted to spare his life, but because I simply wanted to protect my stability. My stability. Oh, I see. You didn't want to make Fusuo Yukio atone. You prioritized the life of Ishisui Arika, eh? Oh, I really can't complain anymore after hearing something so adorable. Whatever. This is the number one line that I don't want to hear from a guy. Even worse, a kid younger than me. Oh well, then I suppose I'll pin my hopes on next time. That said, I'm finished with Mato-san's documents. No point in teasing you anymore about this if Fusuo Yukio is just another demon possessed to you. Arika gave this back to Mato-san. Here you go, he says as he holds out the envelope. To Mato-san? Why? Because you're the one that brought them to me. Alright, you've forgotten that too. It had been in the day, yep, then you will remember why Fusuo Yukio ended up that way. An anorexia caused said case. She was one deserving of pity. Anorexia? The killer became like that because of anorexia? That's strange. Wasn't he usually fat from the video Tsuranui showed me? Oh, I thought you weren't interested. No, but there's something bothering me. Let me see that envelope. Look over the documents that Mato-san supposedly lent out to us. It's true, it's presumed that anorexia was the cause. But if that's true, doesn't that contradict the 16 kilogram per day consumption rate? If anorexia is the cause of the demon possession, it shouldn't have become a demon possessed that couldn't take in food. Kaye, what's this? How did he turn out like that from anorexia? Why that's... Oh, I get it, Arika. You're getting tripped up over something fundamental. You're thinking like this, no? Fusuo Yukio's diagnosis is wrong. This person is obviously someone possessed by eating. Therefore, the cause should be obsessive compulsive overeating, no? Yeah, abnormal consumption of foods. It can be anything other than that. Well, Arika, I don't think it's that complicated. I told you that's not it. Obsessive compulsive overeating and anorexia. They are the exact opposite conditions, but they come from the same psychological factor. You see, Arika, they are both psychological illnesses prevalent in women that both originate from the fear of becoming fat. Kaye speaks. He says that they are both sicknesses in which the body can no longer be controlled by emotions. It's an issue of adding or subtracting, and both anorexia and compulsive overeating are means of weight control that went off course. Anorexia and bulimia are conditions where a fear is learned in eating itself, and the stomach becomes unable to accept food. Compulsive overeating, however, is what happens when they couldn't become thinner out of control stress that gets taken out of food. People who become fatter, no matter how hard they try, will have this. Just as anorexics don't see anything wrong with their thin and weakly bodies, the compulsive overeaters, while thinking that they don't want to see their fattened bodies, that they want to die, will continue eating food from that stress. That's why these illnesses, psychological structures akin to self-destruction, are not contradicting to each other. These are feelings that any human will have. Fear of becoming ugly can be ignored, no matter who it is. Okay, I get it, but why did they become completely opposite of each other? Even if the source is the same, the methods are completely different. Fusuo Yokio was anorexic. Why didn't the demon possession not turn into something that hated eating? Yes, that's the interesting part of this case. Fusuo Yukio had been anorexic for some time. What do you think? In that case, is the emotion that became the strongest during that long struggle? It be the fear of becoming fat? Nope. Something more simple and fundamental as an organism. You don't know? Fusuo Yukio hadn't had a satisfactory meal for years, no? If were you, Arika, what do you think would bother you? Starvation. Oh, that's it. In other words, Yes, Fusuo Yukio was simply starving. The sickness reacted to that emotion and created a gluttonous demon possession. That's why he was eating, while knowing he'd become fatter the more he ate. Fusuo Yukio, pushed by starvation, could only continue to gorge food. Wait, then why eat junk like dogs? What's the connection to starvation? If his stomach's empty, normal food should have been fine. Don't tell me that dogs and cats tasted better. Or that I'm saying it's not about the flavor. The cause was a starvation, but Fusuo Yukio's objective was different. I told you, yes? That anorexia and compulsive overeating both have the same cause. The cause is the same? Okay, I just said, but the cause for anorexia, compulsive overeating is... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You mean Yukio's been eating dogs and people because... Bingo, Arika. Yukio, who was afflicted by demon possession because of an empty stomach, could only continue to look for food, an anorexic controlled by hunger. To Yukio, who didn't want to become fat, this was hell. And at the end of that, Yukio was taken hold of by a basic delusion that anyone will fall for. That is, if you can't stop, then you find food you won't get far from, no matter how much of it you eat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But honestly, I was pretty sure that was the case since any of this began. It had nothing to do with the taste. More like no matter how bad it was to Yukio, the ultimate food was the one that could make him fat. But there is no such thing as that. The very least in the sphere of life that Fusuo Yukio was in, it didn't exist. Because of that, he continued to look for salvation, for food he hadn't eaten yet. Are you satisfied? Still, it's not such a rare diet nowadays. Keep your calories down and cool down on the alcohol and late nighters. It can happen to you too, Arika. Nobody wants to be burdened by excessive weight. It's important to have a diet that will still allow you to control your body. Returning the documents to the envelope, I released a large sigh. Honestly, that wasn't pleasant at all. I don't know who he was, but to go nuts because of that? Thanks, since all my questions are answered, I'm done here. What, already? But you got here and I don't mind if you hang around longer. Oh, how about staying over for the night? Lately we've only been talking during the day, so why not have the occasional memory-lasting conversation? No way, there's no alcohol here. It's dark and I already got my money. I'll be partying in a normal restaurant on my payment days. Plus, I'm not in the mood, and I don't have the stamina to talk to a fully armed and legged Kaye. I'm going. You want to talk about demon possession so much? Go grab Mato-san. You hawks can get rose up over this together. Oh, and stop getting a powerless little civilian like myself mixed up into this nonsense. What are you talking about? You're just like them. Do you really not realize it yet? To the people around you, you are the prime example of a demon possessed. Goddamn, it's your left arm, isn't it? I'm only using it. It's an attachment. I'm not possessed. No, oh, what I mean is your condition. You lose everything that happened in the day once it becomes night. You're unbearable to look at because you are so pitiful. You are dying every night, aren't you? Ah, you mean that? You are as persistent as everybody else, huh? I rise from the sofa and put the envelope between my armpits. Tonight the moon is bright because the water of the tank has high transparency. The moonlight is reaching me while shimmering in the water. Now then, it's not important, but I got a bad habit, and I can avoid it. I can safely say it's a bad habit since while knowing about it myself, I can do anything about it. Look, why am I pitiful? Depending on how you look at it, it isn't that bad, right? I can completely forget about yesterday's stab after all. Yeah, like I just said. I forgot what happens in the day. I completely lose my memory of what happens from the day to the evening, up until night falls. I can remember in succession what happens at night, as only the events during the day are reset when night comes. Day-to-day memory is lost. That's the current predicament of Ishisui Arika, the after effects of having my left arm eaten by a demon possessed 2 years ago. According to Mato-san, I'm a demon possessed. That's harmless. The fortunate thing amidst these misfortunes is that my personality development had already been completed long ago. I'm not a kid that can make judgment of right and wrong, and just losing my day memory at night isn't that big a deal. Basically, I'm getting by not making any promises for the following day and leaving all decisions to the night. That's why I'm keeping my memos to a minimum. 2 years worth of memos, never ending. Nothing big. I don't need to write down all the fine little details. No matter what happens in the day, there's no problems, and no matter what happens, there's nothing to leave behind. My creed is that I want to live the easy life. Having a body that forgets the stupid stuff suits me fine. It's not my place to be telling me anything. Turn my back to the light of the moon. It's late. Before the calendar changes, have to return to the surface quickly. I see that will thin out the melancholy. To have no memories to it. I see that will thin out the melancholy. To have no memories, to have no worries. But Arika, do you realize that living easily and enjoying life are different? Kayet tells me with a voice that will roll a bell. His crystal eyes are thin in the light and shine like gold. You said that your creed is that you want to live the easy life, not live the easy life. Yes, what you have isn't a creed, it's a wish. You haven't come to terms with yourself as much as you are pretending to be. With the way you are, you really will be possessed. That's stupid. I'm already possessed. Right, oh yeah, that's it. You see this a lot. What's different between a real and fake possession about that? I found an easier way of telling them apart. Oh, and? The fakes leak off humans, but the real ones don't. It's been said before, right? Demons appear in exchange for a human soul. In other words, their motto is give and take. Presence of grinning in the blue-white darkness. The damn punk, he immediately figured out what I wanted to say. I want his left arm. He wants my left arm. Look at that, demons, huh? I already make a contract with one a long time ago. Later, I'll come tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow, in the day. I left the chamber without turning back. Once at the surface, the surroundings were completely dark. To make matter worse, the bottom of the ocean was brighter. Leaving the forest, I walk in the country landscape. The stars are high, the night is long. People can get by life even with only half a day. And at the moment, I do have one arm, and that's just about right for a broken person. Heading to town, I pull out an orange cell phone and place a call to the appropriate acquaintance. Hello, Haru, Suranui, you have time? Now, since I've got money, why don't I indulge myself after a day-long absence of food? I leave the abandoned building, probably because breathing the natural air made me relax. I naturally lower my waist and took a break. Taking out my phone, I replied my messages one more time. Hi senpai, this is Mihaya. Delete. And then just now I saw Yukio-san. Delete. About that video the other day, I found out where it was. Well, I was going to my part-time job. It suddenly dawned on me, kind of, but he's kind of in pain. Oh, I can't just leave him alone. Delete. Then after coming this far, I realized that I didn't have to go through the whole history one by one, and the whole process felt idiotic. Take that. I smashed the phone against the wall and kicked it again and again. That's done. Okay, Arika, you are going to have to buy a new cell phone every day like this. Once the sun sets, that's it. But it's not a good idea to leave behind any fuzzy records. If it's a memory that won't return, I have to destroy the other memories. But with really great momentum, a red car came dashing from the factory door. It's Mato-san's Volvo. Wow, she's actually did zip out of there and get here in no more than an hour. Shosai. She runs from the car. I'm a little happy and she seems to be somewhat worried. Despite how cruel I might be or how cold the other person is, it feels nice to be concerned for. Howdy, you were fast. It looks like I arrived late. You look like a mess, Shosai. And what is this? This smell. What were you? Covered in vinegar? That's the truth actually, but I'm dealing with Mato-san, the junk food lover. If I give her a straight answer, she might eat me head first, so I'll stay quiet. So the demon possessed is... It probably means if he's alive, not where he is. Lying flat down in the storage room on the third floor, by the way. Mato-san, did you eat lunch? Oatmeal and 2 rib sandwiches. Why? No reason, just a little sinister question of mine. That's it for me. Before the police get here, I'll leave. Yeah, good idea. Wait, Sosai, do you recognize this girl? The picture she showed me was a 14-15-year-old girl. The girl wearing a student uniform, all too familiar, was as slim as a dried-up tree. Huh, who is this? The demon possessed in this case. Before lunch, I borrowed this from her parents after seeing you. What? That was a girl? A girl, Fusuo Yukio. She was in the same high school as you. You didn't know? Nope, not at all. I see. I didn't think there will be that many coincidences. Good work, go back home. Depending on the situation, I'll ask you what happened later. Mato-san enters the building after contacting somebody. Holding the prosthetic arm in one hand, I depart from the factory. But, so that's it. That was a girl. If I think about it too deeply, I'll reach the conclusion I don't want to consider. So I'll lock away my memory. There in 7 pages, I leave no trace of it at all. Except the words stuck in my eardrums won't stop ringing. 3 hours until the sun falls, 3 more hours, or only 3 hours remaining. I remember the conversation we briefly had, because I was the same weakling as her. I might have been able to understand him a little better than anyone else. But there was a pitfall in that. The only ones that can understand weaklings are weaklings. But because weaklings are weaklings, they don't have the luxury of being able to save others. Because we are both weak, we couldn't reach out a hand to each other, despite being able to understand the other's pain. Senpai, help! No sorrow, someone had said, but even if I knew it, it didn't mean anything if I didn't remain in my heart. On impulse, I thought about writing this with as much detail as time will allow, but I crushed that thought because it was meaningless. But fine, I'll be forgotten when it turns night anyway. Well, I have to say that part there did get to me. Not bad. I was worried about Arika, but I think he may end up okay one day. The guy has issues for sure, but I'm starting to get him a little more. Well, I think this is a good end point for now. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like the video or subscribe if you wish. And we will continue this later on here at Crimson Moon.